He confessed his feelings to me, so let's break up.
I see. A few days later after work.
Then what about me?
Huh?
I might not be enough, but I'll do my best. I'll take her place. That's not it. Oh, Mimose, you're still as playful as ever.
Today is an alumni gathering with my part-time job colleagues from my college days. Back when we worked as cram school tutors, we often held get-togethers, but this is my first time joining one since becoming a working adult. And it's probably the first time for the other members to gather on this scale too. Because today's party is being held to celebrate the return of this man, Oki Momose. And chugging down beer in the corner while glancing at them is me, Kei Kurahashi, in my second year as a working adult.
Kurahashi, are you okay? That's your fourth glass.
I'm fine. People usually say they can't tell what I'm thinking, but I was drowning my sorrows enough that Chio Kuriyama, who's a year younger than me, couldn't help but ask. The reason is simple. The beautiful woman sitting in front of Oki Momose, Karuko Nakamori, is my girlfriend, and Momose is her old crush. No one knows that we're dating, so the gathering ended without anyone suspecting a thing. That's why I was probably the only one who had this bad feeling.
Kay, he confessed his feelings to me, so let's break up.
A few days later after work, Karuko called me out, and that's the first thing she told me when we met. A premonition of a breakup. Maybe because I had sensed it, I wasn't too surprised by her sudden words. I see.
Yeah, I came here today just to tell you that. Oh, you can throw away all my stuff at your place. The year or so I spent with you wasn't bad. See you.
The clicking sound of her favorite 9cm heels faded away. Just like that, I was unceremoniously dumped by my girlfriend of the same age. Her back as she walked away remained vividly etched in my mind, no matter how small it got in the distance.
Kurahashi, you've been taking a lot of shifts lately.
Huh? I remember clearly the first day I talked to Karuko. It was during the summer break of my sophomore year in college, when I started working seriously at the cram school. I was eating lunch during my free time. Well, I want to work as much as I can. Cram school tutoring is known for its good hourly wage, but individual tutors can't just take unlimited shifts, because you have to be assigned to specific students. So if you're lucky and there are openings, you can get a lot of shifts from the start, but if not, you might only get one class a week.
You're teaching group classes starting this year, right?
Group means group classes, in other words, teaching multiple students at once.
You're in high demand now. Let's both do our best.
I had known of her existence since I started taking more shifts. I was in charge of elementary and middle schoolers, and Karuko was in charge of high schoolers. Because of that, our paths wouldn't normally cross, but in our branch, both sections were on the same floor. Depending on the number of students, sometimes a few high school students would use the elementary and middle school room for individual classes.
Cheers.
Half a year passed since I started talking to her occasionally. At the year-end party, as I was sipping my drink, I learned about it for the first time.
Momose is finally coming back next year. Nakamori, you must be looking forward to it, right?
Momose?
Oh, Kurahashi, you don't know? There's a guy named Momose from the high school section who is currently studying in the UK. Nakamori is close with Momose. They're such a good-looking couple. It's a feast for the eyes just looking at them. But please stop! Momose and I aren't like that.
Yes, Karuko was in love with Momose. Even if her words denied it, her face was honest. Seeing this, I realized my own feelings for her. At the same time, it was the moment my heartbreak was confirmed. Then how was someone like me able to date Karuko? That's because Momose, who came back from studying abroad, had decided to work for a company in the UK after graduating college. Must be nice being half British. I was able to date her because Momose, who was a year older, graduated first, and I confessed to her while she was looking lonely. In short, I simply took advantage of Karuko's broken heart. If I had been born handsome, could I have beaten Momose? Our 2-year relationship was going well. I think she had eventually come to like me too. But those 2 years were completely overturned in front of Momose. No, I knew it. No matter how much she came to like me, I could never compete with Momose. I should just head back. Just heading back, that was all it was. But my figure heading home felt terribly pathetic. I'll be leaving now. Time flew by, and 2 months have passed since then. I know that looks aren't the only reason I couldn't compete with Momose. Because I know that, I was more depressed than I imagined. I didn't think it would drag on this long. I usually recover just by sleeping, so I thought I'd be able to move on easily this time too, but it seems romance is a different story. I started to understand the feelings of people who turn to alcohol. I began keeping plum wine in my fridge, and instead of drinking occasionally, I started drinking every weekend. I never thought the day would come when having a stock of alcohol would make me feel this relieved. When I brought the alcohol and some snacks for dinner to the low table, a message notification from Kuriyama popped up on my phone screen. I have her contact info and we follow each other on Lovestagram, but we've barely had any private interactions. Not even once since I graduated first and quit the tutoring job.
Hello?
Seeing the contents, I couldn't help but call her. Kuriyama, sorry for the sudden call. Because the message said, Nakamori seems to be getting close with Momose. Are you okay?
No, I should apologize for being so blunt. The girls' group chat from our tutoring days is still active, and they were just talking about Nakamori and Momose.
Why tell me?
I thought you were dating Nakamori Kurahashi. Was I wrong?
Why did she find out? Neither I nor Karuko had probably ever told any of the cram school members. But silence is affirmation. As if to break the awkward atmosphere, Kuriyama intentionally spoke in a cheerful voice.
You were drinking heavily at the gathering the other day because Nakamori was getting along with Momose, right? Oh wait, there's a possibility you guys broke up a long time ago. I'm sorry, I just panicked.
We broke up, but it was 2 months ago. I got dumped after that drinking party because she said Momose confessed to her. The reason I didn't tell anyone was because I thought Karuko would hate it, and it was obvious I was just taking advantage of her broken heart. But as we spent time together, I felt like she started to include me in the things she cared about. Before I knew it, the time we spent together became comforting, and I was even thinking about proposing soon. I guess I really was no match for him. What am I doing? She must be troubled hearing all this from a former part-time job senior she's not even that close to. Feeling desperate, I opened the pull tab of the condensation-covered beer can, then chugged it. Calling her on an empty stomach might have been a mistake. Just as that regret crossed my mind...
Then what about me?
Huh?
I might not be enough, but I'll do my best. I'll take her place.
Unbelievable words came through the phone. My regret instantly vanished. You're trying to cheer me up, aren't you? Thanks, that actually distracted me quite a bit.
That's not it. I like you, Kurahashi. That's why I want to date you.
Huh? My brain rapidly started processing what she just said. My mind, which is decent but not exceptionally brilliant, instantly concluded that this wasn't a joke at all.
I'm confident my feelings for you are stronger than Nakamori's.
Kuriyama. How did she notice I was dating Karuko? The reason was because she had feelings for me. Realizing that, an overwhelming amount of regret, far greater than what had vanished earlier, washed over me. I'm sorry. I couldn't possibly date someone who genuinely cares for me while feeling like this, let alone use her as a replacement.
I see.
Making you listen to me talk about my lingering feelings for my ex, not noticing your feelings, and making you say you'd be a replacement? How much of those emotions, packed into that single word of apology, actually reached her? Thank you. Not at all. These last words we exchanged were extremely painful for both of us.
That cake looks so delicious.
Since it ended like that, I was sure our connection was over, but that wasn't the case. Surprisingly, since then, Kuriyama started reacting to and commenting on my stories. By the way, I mainly just view posts and never make regular posts, but I do update my stories fairly often. Well then, wanna go together next time?
Wow, it's even cuter in person.
And so, 2 weeks after that message, I found myself at that cafe with Kuriyama. I realized I had sent the invitation because, having no friends, I was actually quite happy interacting with Kuriyama. It's been 3 months of messaging on Lovestagram. My heart, which had been dragging out my heartbreak, has been gradually healing thanks to her. You post cafe photos sometimes too, right? And photos of Nesny.
I only go to Nesne about once a year, and I don't go to cafes that often either, though. But I like both. I just love spending time with my friends.
Kuriyama isn't the flashy type, but she isn't super quiet either. If I were to compare her to high school cliques, she'd be the type of girl who fits right in between the quiet group and the flashy group.
I was really happy you invited me today. Also, thanks for replying to my Lovestagram DMs. Has messaging me been a burden? If I'm being too persistent, please don't hesitate to tell me.
I involuntarily narrowed my eyes. The lingering summer sun should have been blocked, but she looks so dazzling to me. Not at all. Your messages are perfectly normal, and they're not a bother at all. Actually, talking with you is fun.
Huh? I see. Thank goodness.
Seeing a different expression on Kuriyama, who usually has an energetic smile, made me stop eating my cake. I'm often told it's hard to tell what I'm thinking. I'm not the type to use emojis and messages either. So she might have mustered up more courage to contact me than I thought. I didn't know what to do with the woman I had turned down, but... Hey, Kuriyama. I find myself looking forward to her messages before I know it. I find myself agonizing over my replies, rewriting them over and over before sending. And most of all, I find my cheeks getting hot at her unexpected expressions. Honestly, I can't say I have absolutely no lingering feelings, but I like you, Kuriyama. If you're okay with that,
Yes!
I'll cherish you absolutely, so that you can keep smiling. When I said that, Kuriyama broke into a wide grin, showing me the most adorable beaming smile. It's freezing. Time flew by, and it's already December. I found myself back at the station nearest to the izakaya we went to during Golden Week. My purpose was to pick up Kuriyama, or rather Chio. Actually, today, another alumni gathering was held as an early year-end party. It'd be a lie to say I don't care about it. It would be awkward to see Karuko and Momose, so I decided not to attend. I want to meet up with Chio quickly and have our own little after-party. Just the two of us. Just as I was thinking that, gazing absent-mindedly at the illuminations...
Momose, I like you!
Surprised by the familiar voice, I turned to look, and there was Karuko, blushing furiously as she looked up to Momose with desperate eyes.
I've liked you since our cram school days, but I gave up when I heard you were getting a job in the UK. But I still like you. If you're going back to the UK in a few years, I don't mind.
Even though we were in a crowd, strangely enough, Karuko's voice reached my ears clearly. And the contents of her words confused me, because...
So, will you please go out with me?
Because doesn't it sound exactly like a confession? Before I knew it, my feet were stumbling toward them, and... What's the meaning of this?
Huh?
I found myself asking Karuko before I was even conscious of it. She probably never expected me to be here either. She whipped around, her mouth twitching. You told me that day that Momose confessed to you. That's why I agreed to break up. Are you saying that was a lie? Confession? What are you talking about? And what do you mean you broke up? Momose looked genuinely clueless about what was going on. Between Karuko's reaction and the confession just now, it's safe to say what she told me that day was a lie. When I realized that, I couldn't help but laugh.
It's just nonsense. Actually, Kurahashi confessed to me once. He must be mixing up reality with his delusions. Kurahashi, I never dated you. Snap out of it.
Ah, so she's going to deny it this much. After nearly 2 years of dating, this is how I get treated. Even if I did take advantage of her heartbreak, did I really do something to deserve being talked to like this? I should be angry. I thought so, but I couldn't even muster up any anger anymore. But I do have proof. Momose, this is proof that she and I were dating. Being made a fool of any further is a different story, so I showed him a picture I took with her when we were dating. I don't post pictures on my feed, but I do post on my stories quite a bit. In other words, I'm the type who surprisingly takes a lot of photos of my daily life. It's not AI, and of course I didn't stalk her to take it. All I can say is please, believe me. No, I believe you. At the very least, it's a fact that you were dating Nakamori.
Mose!
Why did you treat Kurahashi like a creep? If you were dating, you should have just said so honestly. And according to Kurahashi, you lied and told him that I confessed to you so you could break up with him. If the word confession means asking someone out, I have never once confessed to you.
But if I admitted that, then the fact that I've always liked you would seem cheap. It's true I was dating Kurahashi, but that's only because he confessed to me when I was lonely after you left. You've always been my number one, Momose, so...
So you're saying that just to show how devoted you are to me, you treated your ex-boyfriend, a former colleague, like a creep? I gasped. Momose's gaze was incredibly cold. Karuko had probably never seen him like this either. She just opened and closed her mouth, unable to say a word. You liking me and him confessing to you have nothing to do with each other. There's nothing wrong with confessing to you when you don't have a boyfriend, and you were the one who accepted it.
But I was just taken advantage of when my heart was broken.
So what? If you have a chance, you take action to make it yours. Romance, work, the whole world works like that, doesn't it? Kurahashi just took action, using a fair approach, unlike you. He did nothing wrong. Besides, you looked so happy in that photo. Anyone looking at it can tell you genuinely cared for Kurahashi. To lie and break up with a boyfriend who made you smile like that, and then treat him like a creep on top of it, I am completely disillusioned with you. Silence fell. Amidst Karuko's faint sobbing, I felt a pat on my shoulder. Kurahashi, leave the rest to me. It looks like your ride is here. When I looked, I saw Chio smiling with a worried expression. The moment I saw her face, my heart was instantly enveloped in a warm feeling. I see. Before I knew it, A smile naturally formed on my lips. I bowed to Momose and ran back to Chio.
What the hell?
Since then, Karuko had been completely unhinged. After I left that day, she got properly rejected by Momose. And what's more, I will not go out with you. I thought you were a cute junior, but I never imagined you could be such a cruel person. That's what he said. Hearing these words, she, who graduated from one of the top private universities, understood. Momose never had any romantic feelings for her. Actually, to begin with, the two of them almost never hung out alone.
And to make matters worse, other people saw it!
After all, even Chio found us. Because it happened near the station, the members heading to the after party witnessed it too.
Kurahashi, I'm sorry. I must have unknowingly hurt you with my insensitivity.
I received several apology messages. On the other hand, since I didn't keep close touch with anyone after starting work, no one directly mentioned Karuko to me, but... Everyone who saw the scene firsthand had cold eyes, and they left silently for the after party before she could say anything. That had never happened before, so that alone was enough to show that she was despised.
Just as I thought. No Nobody is replying to my messages. It's all because Kay was there.
So, 2 weeks later, Karuko was heading to my house to vent her uncontrollable anger. By the way, I haven't received any messages. That's because I blocked Karuko the day I confessed to Chiyo. In other words, she had just realized that fact when her angry messages remained unread, which only made her angrier.
I will never forgive him. A slap. No, I'll punch him with my fist. What are you doing?
While walking from the station nearest my house towards my place, Karuko turned around when she heard a familiar voice from behind. It was Chiyo. For the record, Chiyo and Karuko weren't that close.
It's been a while, Nakamori. I just heard something about slapping and punching. What exactly are you here to do? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you sure you didn't mishear? Then why are you here? It looks as though you're on your way to Kay's house. Huh. Are you Kay's girlfriend? You left together the other day, didn't you? If you're here, does that mean you're on your way to Kay's house too? I hate to say it, but it's really surprising he'd pick someone like you.
Saying that, Karuko looked Chiyo up and down.
Yes. Even I never thought I would be able to date Kay. After all, Kay always liked you, Nakamori.
But at those words, spoken without a hint of flinching, Karuko's mouth twitched.
So in a way, I'm actually grateful to you, Nakamori. Because if you hadn't let him go, I would never have been able to end up with Kay. No matter how much you lingered over Momose, no matter how cruel a woman you were, absolutely. You're rude and surprisingly blind. Could it be that you're just convincing yourself of that because you're scared of getting dumped someday? You're wrong. The reason is I know him. I know that Kay never abandons any student and always helps them pass their first choice schools.
There are always problem kids, whether in group classes or individual sessions.
Even kids who walk out of class or kids who look down on adults and refuse to listen at all. Before you knew it, they'd start looking up to Kay and studying properly. Kids that parents and school teachers gave up on would only listen to Kay obediently. So one day I asked him, what kind of magic was he using? And Kay answered like this.
I will absolutely never give up on them. That's what I resolved to do once I'm assigned to a student. That's all.
That's what he said. Until then, honestly, my impression of Kay was someone whose thoughts I couldn't understand. But hearing that completely changed my impression 180 degrees. It might be hard to tell, but he is kinder than anyone, and he's someone who can face the person in front of him more sincerely than anyone else. That's why, even though he's not very expressive and speaks little, he was loved by his students and their parents, and even now, people always talk to him at alumni gatherings. I think Momose probably knew too. It seems he contacted Kay to apologize after that incident.
Yes, Momose actually called me after that. He said he had no intention of doubting me at all. Momose was in the high school section, so just as Chiyo said, he knew. Because he taught both group and individual classes, and sometimes held individual sessions in the elementary middle school room, he knew how I taught.
Momose felt so incredibly guilty. So as a compromise, he's treating Kay and me to dinner soon. I didn't know Momose very well, but he really is a wonderful person. Even though he did nothing wrong, he's just a really decent person. Huh? You, who barely even interacted with Momose, are having dinner with him? When I can't even get a text from him? A woman who's satisfied with my hand-me-down?
Karuko raised her right hand. Chiyo calmly watched it, and then quietly closed her eyes. Chiyo intended to take a slap head on, just as she clenched her hands tightly in preparation for the impact. What are you doing? Slightly out of breath, I grabbed Karuko's arm. Chiyo had texted me when she arrived at the nearest station, saying she'd be here soon. But it was taking too long, and she wasn't replying to my messages, so I went out looking for her out of worry.
Ouch! Hey, what are you doing to the woman you like?
The woman I like? Unfortunately, I don't like you anymore, Karuko.
What?
It's true I had lingering feelings for a few months after we broke up, but even I'm not stupid enough to keep loving an ex-girlfriend who dumped me like that forever. The girl I like is Chio. If you try to hurt Chio, I won't hold back, even if you are a woman. I tightened my grip on her arm. She must have realized I was serious. Trembling, Karuko nodded rapidly over and over again.
Nakamori!
Judging that it was over, I held Chio's hand and started walking towards my house, when suddenly, Chio called out to Karuko.
It's true that I'm his next girlfriend, but Kei is not your hand-me-down. Because the moment he lost his feelings for you, he became a completely different person. My very own Kei. I'll say it one more time. Thank you. Thank you for dumping him so horribly that even someone like Kei would abandon you.
Like this, we walked the rest of the way home for real this time. Our joined hands felt more certain than anything ever had before. Now, as for Karuko Nakamori after that.
I am so sorry!
Karuko, who worked in the HR department of a company in Marunouchi, let her anger take over her work and accidentally emailed personnel evaluation documents requested by her boss to all employees. Naturally, a mere written apology wasn't enough. She was transferred out of HR and fell off the promotion track. Also, after complaining about what happened with me, her friends in her private life abandoned her too. The once highly confident woman is now working in a worn-out state, making her shining past look like a lie. Ooh, so you had a sweet tooth, Kurahashi? As for me, just as promised, Momose took us out for a meal.
He knows a lot of good cafes, too. He even goes to them casually by himself, which I personally find super cute.
Ah, I can see that. Then, for some reason, Chio and Momose hit it off. The topic was me. I don't get it. Chio? I'm your boyfriend, right?
Huh?
Everyone has someone important in their heart, and they are surely kept safely in the shape of that person. So when you lose that person, you can't just fill the hole with a replacement.
Of course. I only have eyes for you, Kei.
You're surprisingly emotional and jealous, Kurahashi. You're just like a cat. If the wound is healed, it's not because someone acted as a substitute, but because, before you knew it, that person's presence had become even greater.
Aw, I really liked Momose. Also, that was really stupid on, what's-her-name's part. Like, you dumped him before you even were together with the guy? Come on. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Bye!